Holy smokes, where have you been? We've been waiting for you here at PHYST. Pastor, have you seen this where we sit around all day, every day, doing nothing but going through internet content for you? And you ingrates, you're, sorry, just making up, trying to be funny on the spot. This is Pastor, have you seen this? Production of Allen Creek Community Church, where one of our pastoral staff just takes a look at some content that you've sent in, we've never seen before, and then we give you our off-the-cuff comment. If you've got something you'd like us to look at, you can send it right here to social@ac3.org, and maybe we'll look at it. Let's see what we got this time.
From Adam to Abraham, you've got 2,000 years. Abraham to Jesus, you have 2,000 years. Jesus to us, you've got about 2,000 years. That's 6,000 years. 6,000 years that Satan has been ruling this earth since Adam. Now, the Bible talks in Revelation in the end about a 1,000-year millennial reign, a kingdom that's going to happen on the earth where Christ rules on the earth. Okay, you understand that he's waiting for the people to say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. There's a fullness of this time of the Gentiles when the gospel is going to preach to all the earth, and then the end's going to come. But isn't it crazy that this has been going on for 6,000 years? Remember the pattern: 6 days, a day of rest; 6 years, a year of rest; 6,000 years. Isn't it perfectly the time set up for the 1,000-year rest where Christ reigns from?
Love Francis Chan, and it's so much fun to watch him talk with those enormous mitts that he's got, waving all the time. I can't pick on him because I talk with my hands too. Here's the deal, friends. How do we handle New Testament prophecy and about the end? And you know, Chan makes a good point here. There's some subtle numerology that we can apply. I think he's probably so often when it comes to these sorts of things, maybe boxing himself in a little more than he needs to, specifically with the 2,000 years from Adam to Abraham. That's debatable, whether that's actually 2,000 years or maybe it was longer. But what are the things that we can take away? What are the things that we can take away from the New Testament and really hang our hats on? Well, this has been discussed ad nauseum. There have been movements that have come and gone. My favorite are the Millerites from the middle 19th century. And I think it was William Miller was his name. And he became a convert to Christianity, got into the numbers of Daniel and Revelation chapter 20 and Matthew chapter 24, and where we get a lot of this stuff. And he literally did the math. And I always picture him in his, mid-19th century garb and his quill with a lantern and doing the math. And he figured out it was going to be in August of, I think, 1844, that Jesus was coming back. And he started preaching it, and people started following him. And he got like dozens and dozens of people, and they all showed up. They decided they were going to go to he had some land in New England somewhere, Connecticut or New Hampshire. And they picked the exact day in August, and this was going to be the day. And I think they wore white robes, and they sold everything, and they went out into the field. And as you may know, nothing happened. So he went back to the books, did the math again, and forgot to carry the 4, found some error in his math, and he said, wrong, it was in August, it's going to be October. And guess what? More people showed up, hundreds. And they went out into the field again on the specified date in October. And yes, the outcome is exactly what you predicted. Now, out of that movement, which is still referred to in some Christian movements as the Great Disappointment, we see a couple of movements you'd know. The Seventh-day Adventist Church has its roots there, and the Watchtower Society. And they're very different organizations, but they have their roots in this. So that's just an example of when we can get too far into the weeds here. And so what can we hang our hat on? Here's what I think we can hang our hat on. Jesus used the kind of the grand metaphor for how things are going to end, a couple of them, but the most interesting one was of childbirth. And that the labor pains are going to do two things. They're going to get more intense, and they're going to come faster and faster. So I would encourage you to look at your news feed and ask yourself about things like war, rumors of war, earthquakes, volcanoes, division, the love of many growing cold, all that stuff that he cited, are those things getting worse? And are they coming faster and faster? It seems like maybe they are. But does that mean that we've got exactly 10 years before a millennial reign comes? And what is that millennial reign? So I think we need to do what Jesus said, which is watch for those signs, be alert, know that the day and the hour is known by no one. It wasn't even known to him when he was engaged in his earthly ministry. But the point is not to win the game, friends. The point is not to be first in line. You ever been in line at the airport and they're going to, okay, boarding group A. Why does everybody in boarding group D feel like they need to stand up and be right there? Like, you're getting on the same plane, friends. You want to get on the plane and sit there, or you could sit here. It's not about who gets it figured out first. It's about how you're living your life today. Are you living your life like the Bible says, counting every day so that you may apply your heart to wisdom? Live your life like this might be it, friends. Are you loving? Are you engaging? Are you being good and bringing joy in life? Those are the questions that we should let these eschatological ideas bring up in us. Not, did we get our algebra right? And are we going to beat everybody else onto the airplane to heaven? So calm down on that, but maybe let's get a little bit more worked up about living like Jesus is right here now. That would be awesome. See you next time.